Hey everybody, wow. Having to film with the flash on today because it's late. We'll see if I like this. Anyways, hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we're taking a look at this knife here. This is the Ruike Knives M61-G. My bad. And yeah, Ruike, I don't know. You know what? I've been told to pronounce this Rake, so that's what I'm doing. I did take this to Google Translator. I just typed in Ruike, Rake, and it translated it to, well, I'll show you.
Ruike,
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 Ruike.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about language. We're here to talk about this knife, or multi-tool. Let's go ahead and start off with a blade length measurement. Yay, we're under 3 inches, so if that's a legal concern for you, you will be in good shape. We are going to be doing an overview of the tools during the cutting footage, and I guess we can just do some size comparisons right now. Alrighty, let's go ahead and here it is against the Rat 1. Size comparisons feel a little bit weird with this knife because, I mean, it's a little bit shorter than the Rat 2, but I mean, look at this, right? But there it is. Do we want to compare it against all the usual suspects? I'm not sure if we do. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's going to be helpful, but let's do it anyways. There's a Praxis. There's the Elementum. Yeehaw. And let's go ahead and grab our bug out. And our Para 2. Alrighty, good deal. Lastly, as a comparison, let's bring out my trusty Tornox that is all full of gunk. That's how you know it's a good little knife. There we go. Alrighty, what are we looking at in terms of our materials on this knife? Well, we have G10 scales, and this little blade here is 12C27 steel. I'm not sure what the rest of the tools are. They might be 12C27. They might be something simpler. But there it is. Let's go ahead and go to the cutting footage where I kind of go over all the tools. And then we'll be back here in just a little bit. Alright, so I'm probably going to throw this in the review for this multi-tool. This is actually the day I unboxed this. This is the first day I had it. I noticed that it is put together with Torx bits, T6 Torx bits, and I thought to myself, hey, you know, I could take that apart and take these pliers out because honestly, I'm not a big fan of pliers. And I believe there was a version of this model that doesn't have the pliers, but it was out of stock when I got this. So I want to see if I can just remove the pliers section and you know, put it back together and have a slightly slimmer model. We'll see how that works out. You know, these might stick up a little bit too far, but yeah, we'll see. So here's the blade out. Pretty nice blade. I do have 2 little phosphor bronze washers in the pivot, so yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, let's see what I can do. Okay, so it does work. There are some issues with taking out that tool and, you know, not. See right here. This pin here is D-shaped. If it'll focus, come on. So it's got a lip that's not letting the rest of this go down around. So I'll probably just put it back together, but I can't right now because I gotta run to class. But yeah. Fun experiment. Oh, and by the way, taking apart slip joints and putting them back together is a pain in the butt. Alrighty guys, welcome back to some desert review cutting. This is actually going to be probably the last review cutting I do out here for a while. I'm going to try and get 3 or so. I think I've got 3 knives I've got to do review cutting on today. And this is probably going to be the last time I'm doing stuff down the south part of the state. Got finals coming up, and then after that I'm going to be too busy to be filming for a couple of months. And then when I do get to start filming, hopefully I'll be up north. So we'll see. But gosh, it's a gorgeous day. Here a little bit, I'm going to run over there and hike up those mountains because I just feel like coming out here tonight. Okay, so enough of that. Take some of these other knives out of my pocket for a little bit. What are we talking about today? We are talking about the Ruike, or Rake, whatever they are, M61-G. Well, let's adjust that in here. There we go. The M61-G. There's a bunch of different, I guess, knives in this family with varying tools. Obviously, this is the one I have. We're going to go ahead and test out all the tools, but first of all, let's talk about the action and stuff. So, slip joint. There's a nice click on that blade coming out. No half stop or anything, but really not a whole lot to talk about in terms of action. Ergonomics. This multi-tool is chunky. You can see that right there. It is pretty hefty. That actually makes it pretty dang comfortable. You can get a real solid grip on this thing. You can really bear down on it. And, I mean, it's not the most comfortable thing ever, right? But it's very secure feeling, right? It does feel very, very solid. So I'm a big fan of that. Let's go ahead and talk about the carry. Again, it's a monster. It's very, very chunky. I did not carry this in my pocket very often, but they do give you a pocket clip. I mostly just threw this in my backpack, and yeah, it works. You do feel it. I mean, you can get your hand down in there and stuff, but yeah, it is chunky. It does work though, right? It does work. You can do it if you need to. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about some of the tools here, whether or not they work. We'll do some testing. So first thing I'm going to pull out here is this little like lanyard hole thing. All right, I think that's about enough of that. That's all we need to see of that thing. We have a screwdriver / pry bar with a bottle opener. I brought something to test the bottle opener on, a cherries and cream soda, because I don't drink. And this is actually technically a twist-off cap, but you know what? I figure it can work anyways. It works. It's really good. You know, that's something that's interesting. This thing does not have a can opener on it. And I've seen a lot of people online and stuff talking, you know, multi-tools don't need can openers anymore. All your cans that you get have the pull tabs. And I was like, well, I don't think that's true. But the other day I was grocery shopping, and I would say 95% of canned goods have that pull top nowadays. I guess I just hadn't noticed before, but it's interesting to see now that we have the twist-off bottle caps. Are we going to start seeing bottle openers becoming obsolete? Maybe? I don't know. Who knows, right? But it's funny to me. There's a lot of tools that people don't carry a whole lot anymore, like awls. I think awls are a great thing to have on your, like this. I think they're great to have on a multi-tool, especially if you're going to be outdoors, but, I mean, honestly, most people might not need that, right? The one tool that's sticking around, though, your blade. You know, everyone needs a blade. It's man's oldest tool. Well, hammers might be older, but it's one of man's oldest tools. It's very useful even in today's day and age. Okay, next thing that's interesting about this multi-tool is it has a glass breaker. And I don't have the craziest testing equipment with me today. We're probably going to make a big mess. I'll have to clean up. But I had one of those sodas yesterday, so I've got the empty bottle here. And we'll see what happens. I did forget to bring my gloves, but I found this old crusty pair, or this old crusty glove in my truck. So we're going to hopefully not, you know, demolish my hand. How do I even want to do this? What's the correct procedure here? Here, let's see if you guys can see this. You know, I gotta do this, right? For you guys, for science. I feel like that's gonna shatter everywhere. You know what? Let's go do this in the dirt. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go do it in the dirt. Alrighty, here we are. Let's give this a whack. I think that worked pretty good, and we didn't make a huge mess. So I like that. I like that a lot. Alrighty, there we go. Yeah. Next tool we have on here is... It's all dusty now. No, not that one. This little thing here, which they call a strap cutter. So it's a little tiny serrated blade. We've got a little bit of a flathead screwdriver at the tip. So what we're actually going to do with this is do our rope cut with this little blade. I do like that it's angled forward like that. So you can see we're getting a really good angle here, especially since this is a slip joint. You know, this kind of helps you to keep it where you need to be, right? You don't want to have it closing on yourself. So let's see what happens. It got through too. If you had to cut a seatbelt or something with this, would it work? Yeah, I'm sure. You know, get in there and pop it out. Okay. Cool. Next tool we have here, something that I really, really love seeing, scissors. These scissors do have a really good spring on them. They do feel really, really nice. They work really nice too. I'm going to have to clean up all those little bits. So yeah, I like these scissors. They are fine enough to like cut paper. I have had to cut a lot of paper with them. Grab a little piece of cardboard here. I would not recommend using them on the cardboard, but you can if you really, really want to. But, you know, you've got a knife blade, so why would you, right? Our next tool on here, we have the file with your nail cleaner scraper thing. I'm a geologist. I've always got dirt under my nails, so there we go. It works. What is something we can file? I don't know. The files feel pretty good. Got a little bit of a finer one on this side, a little bit of a coarser one over there. I'm sure it'll be fine. I didn't really use a file at all, but I'm sure it's fine. Next, the tool we have is a saw. Something I really like about the saw is it's directly in the middle of the tool, so you can really get some good sawing motions on it. And let's actually go... I see what we're going to go do. We're going to be going and finding a little bush to do some sawing on. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but a little bit sunburned. I've been out in the field like all week. So, yeah, got a little bit of a sun. Got a little bit cooked. I burned like a cookie. So, all right, here we go. This is what we need. Yeah, not the biggest ones I've seen, but we can make it happen. All right. It's a good bush here. Again, no gloves because I'm the big dumb. But you know what? I've dealt with pricklies before, so I think we'll be all right. Let's see here. I think we want to take... You know what? We're going to get down there at the base of this one. Get out of my way. Come on, it's almost off. There we go. Get over here, you. So I hope you guys could see that. I should have checked before I started sawing away. We'll take this back to the truck and do some more stuff with this. But get out of there. It's about the right diameter for testing this saw anyways. You know, it's a tiny saw. What are you going to be doing with it, right? The teeth do not move the sawdust out all that well, but that's kind of typical for a lot of pocket saws. Honestly, it did pretty good. I'm not upset. It did bite. You're never going to find the most amazing saw on a pocket tool, right? That's just not going to happen. This did pretty dang good though. So let's take it back to the truck and we will continue sawing away. Damn prickles. Oh, shoot. Alrighty. So let's go ahead. Maybe we'll do a little bit more with the saw. I did get a bunch of these stupid thorns in me. Although, you know what? That might give us a great opportunity to test out the, sit down. Might give us a great opportunity to test out the tweezers that are in here. I've actually tested these out a lot. I've taken this knife out with me in the field quite a bit, pulled many splinters and cactus tines out of me, and they work okay. They're good tweezers. Not amazing tweezers, right? I mean, it's a pocket tool, but they're really good tweezers. They worked for everything that I needed them to do. So, do I have any thorn splinters? That's rare, right? I normally have stuff. I had a big one there yesterday, but okay. So, but yeah, they do work pretty good. Corkscrew / knot untire, you know, works all right. The awl does work. I actually use this to poke a new hole in my belt. Use it to poke a hole in my compass holder, which is a little leather pouch. And yeah, it worked okay. I mean, it's pretty sharp. So that's good there. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the saw back out. And what do we want to do with the saw? Guess just trim this up a little bit, maybe. Maybe we don't even need to, right? Maybe you guys saw enough. The saw works fine. I'm not going to bother with this thing. It's just, yeah. Hauled it all the way over here and just to decide to, you know, get rid of it. Efficiency. Okay, so our next tool on here is a tool. Pliers. These pliers suck. These are terrible pliers. Worst tool on this entire contraption. I'm not even going to talk about them right now. We'll talk about these at the table. But yeah, they just kind of suck. I do not like these pliers at all. Not one little bit. So we're not even going to waste any time on them. Next up, let's go to our blade. Classic spear point blade shape. Oh, look. There I am. Ooh, Inception. But 12C27 steel on the blade. I like that. You know, they didn't cheap out on the steel. Well, I mean, they kind of did. 12C is kind of a cheap steel, but I think it's fine, right? So let's go ahead and just do a couple of things with the blade. I will say one thing with the blade. It does hit a pin back here, so there's constantly a little smush spot right there. Maybe you can see that. Yeah. It is what it is. All right, let's go down to here. It's a good little blade, right? It's good. It's like most other traditional style blades. Full flat grind, very thin stock. It works out really well. We already did a pull through with the other thing, but we will do some crunches. 1, 2, wow, 3. Okay, yeah, not bad. Actually, a little bit better than I was expecting. Oh, that's why. This is just 2 strands because the other strand came off. Forgot about that. Still, I mean, not bad, not bad. And let's go ahead and grab our pool noodle I have to buy a new one here pretty soon. We've almost used this one up. I sometimes get weird looks. I mean, luckily it's summertime, so you know I can go and pool noodles are everywhere. But there's been a couple of times I've gotten weird looks. I'll walk in to a store, buy groceries, and like 2 or 3 pool noodles. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're just going to do those 2. Yeah, felt great. Nothing to really complain about. I mean, I won't say it blew my mind. It kind of did exactly what I was expecting it to do, but hey, that's a win, right? That's an absolute win. So, there it is. We got a quick overview of the tools, put some of them to use. Let's go ahead and get back to the table. Should I throw this guy? The answer is yes, obviously. We always do. It's tradition. It's tradition. Back to the table. Alrighty, everybody. We are back. I decided not to go with the flash again. That just looked weird. See, the way I have my apartment set up, well, I don't have it this way. Whoever built this building has it this way. I've got a window over here to my left, and that's where I like to get most of my light from. I do have a light on the ceiling, of course, but right now it is 6:04 in the evening. The sun is starting to set. West is that way, right? So that's where the sun's at right now. And it's not shining through my window real good, right? But not only that, I also have, the way our building is set up, there's a wall, and then you go in like that, like that, like that. My window is right here, and so we have this wall that goes up, and there's other apartments there. In fact, there's someone who lives above here, and they can look down on my place. But yeah, so anyways, this time of night the lighting's not real great, so I do apologize, but we're gonna roll with it. It's still like perfectly, like I can still see fine without my light on here in my room, but for some reason the camera doesn't like to pick it up that much, and I don't have a big fancy light set up right here because my desk that I use to film my videos on, this is also where I do homework and stuff. So I've, when I'm not filming videos, I've got my laptop set up here. I've got, this little drawer that pulls out here. I can do my maps and stuff. And the rest of my desk is covered in writing instruments and tools and rocks. So yeah. Anyways, a little bit of a tangent. Let's go ahead and talk about this knife, what I'm liking and what I am not liking. So there are a lot of different versions of this knife, and this is the one I chose because it had the most tools, and I figured if I was going to buy this and review it, I wanted to see, everything they had on there. But the variety of tools that they offer you is pretty incredible. You can really choose one that has your own set of tools in mind. Let's go ahead and start talking about this, though. I really do like that the blade here is 12C27. They very easily could have just, given us a no-name steel. They give us 12C27. Is 12C27 an amazing steel? No, but I like it, right? I like it. And on a budget multi-tool like this, I think it's absolutely fine, right? So I'm a big, big fan of that. The blade itself is nice and slicey, spear point, flat grind, like most of your basic kind of a multi-tool type of blades. The next thing I like is this is a chunky little tool, right? It is pretty hefty, but it's not unwieldy. Like it's not a brick. It's big, it's chunky, but it is not prohibitive. And the other thing you get with that is you get a really solid grip on here. So if you're going to be using that glass breaker, or if you're going to be using the saw, you've got a lot of grip here. You can really get some power down on some cuts and things, and I like that. I really do. It does feel very, very unique in the hand, so that is awesome. Next thing, you can actually disassemble this. We do have screw heads or Torx bits there, so you can take off these G10 scales, put new things in. You can take this completely apart. And in fact, right now, I'm going to interrupt the video. I'm going to show you some clips of me trying to take this knife apart. I was trying to remove the pliers, We will talk about that later. And yeah, we're going to play that right now. Okay, so yeah, this does come apart. There you go, you can see that. And so if you want to take this apart and maybe you bought another version of this that had a tool that this one's missing, I'm not sure. I think this one has all the tools off. Maybe not. Maybe you just want to add another knife blade on there or something. I don't know. You could take one of these tools out and put in that filler, you know, put back together, you know, swap your tools out as you go. I think that's really, really cool. And of course, you can customize your scales, put new scales on there. That's awesome. Next thing, I do think the selection of tools on here is really cool. I do like the glass breaker. I think that's a really, really awesome addition to this knife. This is the first Swiss Army type of knife that I've ever had that has a glass breaker on it, so that's really cool. I bought this to use with field camp and stuff, and I like this a lot. You know, it goes in my backpack. It's something I can have, you know, out in the field. I do think I'm going to get a different tool. We'll talk about that later, but I'm going to keep this in my truck. I think this would be a really good spot for it, and that glass breaker, you know, makes it a really good emergency tool. The other tools on here are really, really good, though. You got your cork screw, which, I mean, I only use these for picking out knots, and I think a lot of people do that. The awl here, really nice awl. They did, you know, make sure to actually give it an edge. Hooray, you know, who would have thought? Your edge tool needs to have an edge. You do have a little hole there in case you want to do a little bit of sewing. I have used the awl to punch through some leather. I like that. We already talked about the glass breaker. Bottle opener with the flathead screwdriver. You do have this little doodad if you want it. If you don't want it, it's not in the way. This little serrated blade, I wasn't sure about it, but I think I like it. It's got another flathead screwdriver on it. Yeah, it's angled in such a way that you can really get some interesting cuts going. I think they label it as a strap cutter, so in an emergency situation, you know, if you want to take something out, like a seat belt, it'll work great for that. The scissors, however, are a standout. Let's get those out here. These scissors are really, really good. I love these. Having a good pair of scissors on a multi-tool is absolutely important to me. I bought this tool because I saw it had scissors. They look like good scissors, and I want something that I could, you know, out in the field use to cut bandages. I have used this on paper many, many times, just cutting out, you know, elements from paper. What's the word I was even looking for? But they are really, really nice scissors. And that, you don't always get nice scissors on multi-tool, right? Some multi-tool scissors are pretty crappy. These ones are not. They've got good spring. They cut really nicely. They're nice and big. I like these scissors a lot. These are probably one of my favorite tools on this little device. Of course, you have your file and stuff. I didn't really use this one a whole lot, but I have used multi-tool files frequently in the past, so it's good to have it. The saw is a pretty good saw. Would I say it's the best? No, I do think Victorinox makes better pocket saws, but it's a good one. We already talked about how, you know, you can get good grip on it. I love how it's directly in the center. You can see that, and that helps it feel a little bit more balanced, and I think that was a smart move putting the saw in the middle. Our next tool, we're not even going to talk about right now, and we already talked about the blade, so good set of tools on here. The pocket clip, I was interested to see the pocket clip on this thing. I wasn't sure how much I would like it. I don't think I would pocket carry this. This lives in my backpack, but you could, right? The pocket clip is not bad. It is inset. The tension's okay. It does have mushroom screws, but they didn't really get in the way. This is kind of a chunky tool to put in your pocket, but if you wanted to, that'd be, you know, really awesome. And if you have some of the thinner versions, I think you'd be really, really happy with the pocket clip. So I like seeing it on there. I think that's a really, really cool addition. The G10 itself is nice and grippy, all that good stuff. So yeah, there we go. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about actually, before I forget, the packaging on this was actually very, very nice. I've got it sitting right here. This is the first Ruike knife, rake, whatever, that I've ever handled. And, wait, ready to make it. I just saw that that's their logo. or motto, ready to make it. I'm going to go look over here at my Google Translate that I pulled up on my computer again and see what Google said the translation was. Ruike. Whatever. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Anyways. So yeah, you get this nice little box. You know, obviously this thing goes in there like that. Yeah, really nice for a budget multi-tool. I thought that was really, really cool. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some negatives. The number one negative on this thing, oh, wait, we forgot to talk about a tool. Never mind, we're not going on to negatives yet. The tweezers. These are actually pretty good tweezers. I did use them a lot. I get lots of splinters and stuff. You can see here they do meet up pretty evenly. And yeah, you can use them. Are they the best tweezers? No, but they're absolutely usable. I do like having tweezers. I'll throw up a picture of a big old splinter I took a picture of that I pulled out of my knee a couple months back. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about negatives. The number one negative on this thing, these pliers. These are the crappiest pliers ever. I hated them so much, I wanted to take them off of the tool. You can't remove them and have the tool be all that functional. Oh, come on. There we go. So I have already filmed my full review of the Ruike M61-G. However, I have not edited it yet. And that's good because I'm going to make an insert. The pliers are not completely useless. So I'm at work today before everything opens up. I'm going around checking all the display cabinets. I noticed that we had the lights out in this one with our rotochrosite and stuff. So I'm taking the light bulbs out, and this one comes out of its little socket. Like, oh crap! I'm gonna need pliers to get up in there and grab this part that's still screwed in, so I can unscrew it because I couldn't get my fingers in there. It's a pretty tight little space. And my Leatherman is in my field bag, which I don't have with me right now, but thank goodness. I decided that this is going to be my dedicated truck multi-tool now. So I ran out there, grabbed this other glove box, snipped the last little wire in the bulb because the bulb was still hanging there by that little wire, snipped that with the scissors, and then used the pliers to grab that thing and twist it out of there. I still hate these pliers. These are not good pliers. These are not good pliers, but I mean, they came in clutch today, so they're not completely worthless, I guess. So I have to insert this into the review and be like, okay guys, they're not completely worthless. You can use them for some things. Not great pliers, but I gotta be fair. They're just really crappy pliers. I don't like them at all. I would not use these for anything. And yeah, I would recommend if you're gonna buy one of the M series from Ruike, you get one that does not have the pliers, because the pliers, they really do suck. Other negatives, there's not really much. I mean, it's chunky, right? But if that's not if you don't want something that's chunky, you don't have to get the full setup, right? Get one of the ones that has less tools and you'll be good to go. The other big negative here, this is actually the last one we'll talk about, is on the blade. Let's focus in there. Do you guys see that? Let me see if I can even see it right now. Yeah, up here. Wait a second. Best angle to show this at. Also did just hit this guy on a honing rod earlier, so I might have got rid of it. I thought I'd be back, but I think you guys saw it in the cutting footage. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see that damage there. Let's focus up, camera. Yeah, you can see where that edge is a little bit smushed right there. Yeah. The blade does hit the back spring when you close it. To me, that's not a huge deal because I always have a dedicated knife with me, so this isn't like the main blade I'm relying on. But if it is your main blade that you're relying on, that might be a much bigger issue for you. So those are all the cons. Let's go ahead and get into my final conclusions. This knife here ran me about $70. Some of the other versions that have less tools are a little bit cheaper. I am interested in getting some of those and reviewing them. Do I recommend this? I do, actually. I really do. Like I said, I actually don't recommend this one specifically. I recommend you get something that does not have the pliers because these pliers are trash. Terrible, terrible pliers. If there are other tools that this one does not have, I might be interested in throwing something in instead of those pliers, but I do not like the pliers. Everything else I think is fine. I do kind of wish there was a bottle opener, but there isn't. Or not a bottle opener, right? Can opener. There isn't. Whatever, that's okay. Oh, here's another negative I didn't mention. I wish there was a Phillips head screwdriver. There's no Phillips head. I do wish there was a Phillips head. There's not, you know. Live with it, I guess, but I do wish there was one. As far as a budget multi-tool goes, I'm really impressed with this. They've got you a real blade steel on here. They have you some usable tools. It's modular to some degree, and I think it's pretty fantastic for the price. And of course, if this is too much for you, as in, you know, too thick or even just too much money, they do have other versions that are cheaper that have, you know, fewer tools. You can kind of find the one that fits your EDC best. And I think that's really, really cool. So, do I recommend this? Yeah, I recommend giving this series a look. I hope to have more rake knives on the channel in the future. But yeah, this one is really, really cool. So, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon. Hope you have a wonderful day. Adios.